welcome to Bit Different. This is Cetine.
And this is Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm well, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm finally over the car drama, and
That's
I'm finding
good.
some peace in my existence for the moment.
That's nice.
Yeah. Except I invited chaos back into my life.
Ooh, do tell.
I went back on Tinder.
Yay!
I keep switching off between Tinder and OkCupid because what's great about one is awful about the other and vice versa. And so...
Well, it sounds like you need to do both of them at once then to sort of cancel out the badness.
Yeah, but that doesn't work either because then you just spend way too much time on your phone and it's already time consuming with one of them.
Well, it's like last time I was on OkCupid, there was no app. It was, you had to have a website open on your phone and it never kept you signed in. So you always had to like sort of sign back in and it wasn't optimized for mobile at all. It was terrible.
Really? I didn't know it was that old. I thought like eHarmony was that old.
No, OkCupid, God, last time I was on it was probably 6 years ago, I think.
I was going to say 6?
No, because I was dating very young. Like, no, because like Todd and I have been together for 5.5 years now, almost. And I think it might have been 6 years last time I was on it. And then before Todd, I was single for like a year and a half. And then before that, I was in a relationship for about 2.5 years, whom I met on OkCupid.
Oh, okay.
So OkCupid's been around for over 10 years.
Wow.
But like, yeah, I imagine it has an app now because, you know, you have to.
You have to survive.
But like Tinder, I'm always like, and poor Todd's heard me say this 1,000 times, I'm kind of bummed that like Tinder wasn't around when we met each other because seriously, there's something that seems so exhilarating and fun about it. It's like a game show of like, well, do you match?
It is a game. It's like Guess Who.
Yeah.
I loved Guess Who.
That seems really fun.
Yeah.
Although, you know, and nerve-wracking.
You know, I have not ever had a relationship 2.5 years or longer. So congratulations on that. And I have been at the forefront of online dating since like high school or before. So that 1996 is when my freshman year in high school. My first boyfriend was 1997. And it was over a site called gay.com. Remember that? Well, there was a chat room. And it wasn't really by location. Well, they had that, but it was more like subject. And I think I was like between like 18 to 25-year-olds or whatever at the time. And I met someone and we talked and he's from Michigan. And so we had a long distance relationship like that for a year. And I was in high school and he was in high school too. He was actually a year younger than me. So we were both young. And my dad said I could go and visit him, and he actually came and visit me in California too. So we spent a whole of 3 weeks together, the whole year we were together. But I would say that's pretty much the forefront of that whole digital dating experience.
Yeah.
And I've been with it ever since, and guess what? It ain't so great.
I'm sorry to hear.
At least for me, but I'm glad. Wait, you didn't meet Todd over?
We met on an app.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we met on Scruff.
Oh, Scruff. See, if I could be on Scruff, I would be on Scruff.
Yeah, I don't think you're nearly scruffy enough.
Yeah, but aren't they
you're much too pretty.
Aren't they like called otter pops? Am I an otter pop?
You're not an otter.
Or a seal. I could be a seal.
It's like a friend of mine at work. I told him about the whole sort of, you know, animal naming thing of, you know, bears, cubs, otters. And he thought it was really funny. And he asked his wife what she thought an otter was. And she was like, is that a man who like claps during sex? Which I was like, that would be a seal. But that is fucking amazing. Like when I heard that, I was like, that is, I don't know if I ever want to meet a seal, but that's really funny.
Yeah, seals are so cute. If you could walk them like dogs, they would be the best pets if they wouldn't like bite you.
Yeah. Well, I love seals and I love sea lions.
Yeah. When I go to Santa Cruz, they have tons of sea lions, so I always go and watch them.
Nice.
That's about that. They stink, though.
They lay in the sun, though, looking cute.
Yeah, they will do that.
So you're back on the Tinders.
I'm back on the Tinders, and I'm talking to somebody right now, and he seems cool, but, you know, it's always up in the air. There's like 20 guys who you're kind of like chatting back and forth with, and you never actually ever meet them because... Yeah.
Because the internet's full of flakes.
Full of flakes. And I could be one of them. I don't know. But that's that. And then I have one other story. So I'm going to be filming on Transparent next week.
What?
And I was getting fitted last week for my costume. And I'm in there getting dressed and I'm putting on this bathing suit. And who comes in but this really cute guy? And I was like, oh my God. And he was in the dressing trailer. And I look at him. I was like, oh my God. I was like, he said, hey. I said, hi. He is somebody I have been following on Instagram for over a year.
Really?
He's trans. His name's Sawyer. So go look him up. I don't know Sawyer something, but he'll probably come up.
So is he costume designer or
no? I think he's a PA for Transparent. So when he came in, I like almost lost it. I almost peed in that nice costume of mine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I texted one of my friends who works on the show, and I was like, I've been following that boy on Instagram, and I did not have a clue that you all worked with him. I was so happy and sad at the same time.
That's really cool, though. I had no idea you were shooting for Transparent.
Yeah, I am.
Congrats. That's awesome.
Thanks. That's my stories.
I like it.
Thanks.
But yeah, I'm trying to think what I've been up to. Not a whole lot. This weekend, I tried to keep it real low-key, where all I did was just sort of hang out at home. Although Todd and I went to go see Kong Skull Island yesterday.
I do want to see that.
And we had not been to the Chinese theater since it became an IMAX theater. And so we figured, you know what, we never do IMAX in 3D. I think the last thing we saw in IMAX 3D was Gravity.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we figured, fuck it, we'll go. And it was fun. I really liked the movie. Brie Larson has perfect teeth.
Don't look at my teeth. Mine are like coffee stained. I've been drinking coffee like 12 cups a day. They're so brown from, I need that whitening system stat. But really? I guess she does, huh?
Yeah, she has like a really nice, like, smile, good teeth.
I think she's very pretty.
She is.
She's not like eccentrically pretty. She's just like regular pretty.
Yeah, she's actually a very just normal looking person, and she's just really pleasant to look at.
Yeah.
She's not super modelly. She's just a very normal person, but very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the movie a lot. Cool special effects, great action. I never really thought I had any strong opinions about King Kong either way, but I really like the Peter Jackson one, and I like this one a lot.
The Peter Jackson one was good.
Yeah.
This one, I heard they kind of made it more like in the not the style, but kind of like the way they do a video game. Like they
it actually
create it.
felt very video game. It felt very video gamey, just in the way that the movie sort of structured. And then it's like challenge and like boss. They kind of keep throwing big things at you. Yeah, it was really cool, and a friend of ours was one of the writers on it. Congrats to Max.
Yay, Max!
And he was also one of the writers on.
I don't think I know Max.
He was one of the writers on Godzilla as well.
Yay, Max, and for all that, we like it.
I
didn't see Godzilla though.
It's really good.
The legendary one, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, it was kind of funny though. It was so much money for us to see this movie because just the tickets were like almost $50 for the two of us. And then because it was IMAX 3D, so it was like
the Chinese.
Yeah, it was like $23 per ticket, and then
Jesus,
like surcharges. And then of course we decided, you know what, fuck it, we're going out, we're doing it, let's go big. So we did like, popcorn, sodas, all that. That was like $36 at concessions, and it's not like we went crazy.
$100
and then parking and all that. It was just, it was like almost $90 by the time we were done. It was just like, well, it was a good. We enjoyed the movie at least. If it'd been like Cure for Wellness, we might have had a different sort of takeaway from it.
Yeah.
But
well, that's good. I hear I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything. But I hear that the Easter egg at the end of the film kind of sets the tone for stuff that's already happened in King Kondium.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like it definitely is. It's building towards expanded universe sort of stuff. Because they already sort of announced that the monster movies are going to continue. I think they're doing Godzilla 2.
Are they going to do Mothra?
I think they're working in the other villains in Godzilla 2, and then there's going to be a crossover of Godzilla and Kong.
Wow.
And so, like, yeah, they're kind of doing this. They're creating a expanded universe sort of thing where they're bringing the monsters to. They're doing the monster mash, Just mash them all
I
together.
love that.
So yeah, I'm excited about that because
The monster mash.
So far,
I'm
enjoying what they're doing here.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great monsters in the Godzilla like legacy that the U.S. movies have never touched upon.
Well, because I know about like Mothra and Gamera, and I don't know any of the other ones. Mecha Godzilla?
There's Mecha. Is Gamera the 3-headed one?
I don't know.
There's like a 3-headed dragon.
There is like a Hydra. And
Yeah,
I don't
Hydra.
know what it is though. Maybe that's Gamera.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up while we talk.
I just remember there was a game on the Nintendo,
Oh, I remember that game.
and it was a side scroller, and you were pretty big in it, and the other characters were big, and you just kind of like went along as Godzilla and fought the enemies.
And it had like an overworld that was all a bunch of hexagons.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Oh my gosh, yes.
So it looks like Gamera, from me looking it up, it looks like a sea turtle that walks.
Let me see. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm no
That's
expert on this
definitely
thing.
Power Rangers status right there.
But what the fuck character is that?
The Hydra?
Yeah, like, and I'm sure, any listener that knows this is probably screaming at their phone right now, just like,
Trust
God!
me. Everybody knows about as much as we do.
It is Ghidorah, the 3-headed monster.
That's like J'adore from Dior.
Yes. Oh my God, new spokesperson ready to go. Sorry, Charlize Theron, you've been
Bye,
replaced
Charlize.
by something.
But
with
I'll watch
two
your new
more-
movie.
Oh, seriously, Atomic Blonde looks great.
Yes.
But yeah, so, and I hear you saw a movie since we last spoke.
I did. I saw Logan.
And what did you think?
I really fucking loved it, but I've been tormented every day since the day I saw it because it
Gave you all
ripped
the feels.
my heart into 50,000 pieces.
Seriously, that movie was so good.
And I don't necessarily have emotions, and so this movie brought them back out in me. I cried or teared up, however you want to put it, twice.
You got all misty.
More than misty. They were running down my face in 2 parts. It's because they're just characters that you love and adore, and to see them in this like post-apocalyptic state is really traumatizing.
It was like there were people behind me and Todd in the theater that were actually like gasping at some points. They were just shocked that the movie did what it did.
It's a great movie. It's beautiful in its ugliness, and it's very graphic.
Well, it's actually just pre-ordered it on like the 4K
Already?
Blu-ray set. Yeah,
It's
I mean,
still in theaters.
it's $30 like on Amazon, and the nice thing is if you pre-order, of course, if it drops in price before it comes out, even for like a day, you get the lowest price that it ever is between your pre-order and shipping. And it's like, I know when it comes out, I'm gonna want it, so may as well just pre-order now.
Seriously. I mean, it's so fast now. I remember back in like 1994, I think it was, when Jurassic Park was in theaters, and we found there was this guy at a swap meet who was selling the must have fallen off a van somewhere actual version of the film like a week early.
Really?
And it took about 2 years for them to get it on VHS.
Yeah.
So the fact that we had it a week before everyone else made us feel like gods. We were like, nobody has this.
Well, I remember
this
being
VHS is golden.
I remember being amazed. That movie was still in like in the theaters after a year in Palmdale.
Yeah.
In Palmdale, I think it was in theaters for about 56 weeks. And it was just because I remember thinking like, wow, this came out over a year ago and it's still making money. Like people were still going because it was just that great of a movie.
Yeah, there's nothing to compare it to either.
Yeah. And I think still Jurassic Park is kind of unrivaled in that it still looks great. It's still...
The first one looked amazing
still. It holds up. It really does. But also they did a really judicious use of CG and they kept it a lot of puppets still. Yeah. It looks very real. Love it. So what you playing?
Oh, before I get to what I'm playing, my dictionary.com word of the week.
Ooh.
Of which I always forget to use during the podcast.
But the important thing is we're all learning a word here. Yeah,
we are. And they're all words that you can use when talking about video games.
Seriously, like embetterment through podcasting.
Thank you. That's what I think.
We are embiggening your vocabulary. And yes, I know embiggen is not a word unless you are a Simpsons fan such as myself. It's a perfectly cromulent word.
No, embiggen is a word. Miss Marvel. That's the word she uses
Really?
when she stretches.
Embiggen?
Embiggen.
I thought
when
that wasn't
she
actually a real
embiggens.
word. That's amazing. I
don't think it's in the dictionary, but that's
It
the word
should be.
she uses to stretch. She embiggens.
All right, so what's the word?
I'm already going to say it wrong. Stravage.
Stravage.
Stravage. Thank you. I made it French-ish. Stravage.
And
which means,
what is it?
And it's spelled weird. It's Stravage, which looks like stravage. But anyway,
Yeah.
Stravage. To wander aimlessly, saunter, or stroll. So I think about already every open world game I've ever played.
Yeah, I was about to say that is totally what I'm doing in the game I'm currently playing.
And in the game I just finished, which was Diablo 3.
So you finished Diablo 3. I love that, like, the whole plan was supposed to play together and you just, like, tore through it.
But I guess you can adventure forth
Oh,
afterwards.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I ripped through that one. It was really good. I played I would say probably 70% of the game on Torment level 3. So I was in it to, like, to kick some butt, but...
Well, I've heard that game does not even really begin until you start going into harder difficulty levels.
Yeah, what did you play it on?
I played on... I didn't finish it. I'm only, like, midway through, and I'm playing on normal, and I don't think I've died yet. It's kind of a pushover.
Yeah, normal's a pushover. Wait till you get to the Torments. Experts, actually, is the 5th level up, because it goes normal, hard, master, expert, Torment level 1 through 13.
Oh my god.
That's how they... And I got all the way up to Torment level 7. And then I had to backtrack a little because then it got like... It was too hard. It was like one-hit kills.
Oh, well, it is a game that's meant to be played multiple times so you can get better and better gear.
Yeah, and I didn't play with anybody. They say you're supposed to team up with people.
Yeah, co-op is good on that one.
I did do it once, and it was the biggest fucking mistake of my life.
Were you playing online with randos?
I was playing online, and I was streaming, and this guy person who was watching me stream was like, hey, can I just join your game? I was like, sure, why not? So join the game, starts giving me this treasure, which I was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, damn, this treasure's strong. I didn't realize some other person who was watching me stream was like, that guy's a cheater. These are all modded things. And I had all this mod shit. And I was like, well, no wonder I'm like busting through these levels and like gaining like leveling up like every 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And so I realized it was cheating and I was like, oh my God. So I got rid of the gear, but then it was fucking up my levels because the bosses or the characters, the enemies were really difficult. And I went back down to my old gear. So it just wasn't like collaborating.
Crazy.
And it eventually did get back to regular, but it was a pain in the ass to have to change all the levels back down to regular levels. And don't do that, anyone out there with strangers. Only do it with your friends.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family.
But it sounds like you had fun, though, playing through the game?
Oh, yeah. The game was awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah, I loved it.
Nice.
Yeah. I thought killing Diablo would be the end of it, but I was well wrong.
Well, yeah, because you have the Reaper of Souls expansion, so yeah, you got to get into the Reaper.
And that expansion is not short. It is a really long expansion.
I think it's like almost like a full game kind of thing, right? It's pretty long.
I would say it took me 3 hours to get through it. Okay. It was
Not
a
bad.
good amount of time, yeah.
Cool.
So, and I love the voiceovers for all the demons. Like, I love that very like...
like the guy from Doom.
Yeah.
Like, that is such a good narration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obsessed. Or the Reaper from Overwatch.
Oh,
die. I love that.
Oh, Reaper.
Yeah.
I've been just playing more Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's so good.
How far do you think you are?
I think I'm probably 50%, I think. Because at one point in the game you need to sort of take care of 4 things in order to sort of make it so you can go towards the final boss. I've done 2 of those. And then just in general, like, and then also at the same time in the game, not to go into any specifics for anyone who hasn't played it yet, there's also 12 things that you need to do of another thing, and I've done 7 of those. And then, of course, there's a ton of collectibles that I'm way not even scratching the surface on. But having a good time, wandering around and just having a good time with it. It's really crazy, though, because I've been comparing my experience for the game with people I know that are playing it at work and stuff. And it's just a really thoughtful sort of sandbox of a game, and that it gives you all the tools to kind of do what you want. And then how you accomplish those things is up to you.
Up to you.
Like, I'm playing the game where I'm going a lot more on the getting hearts instead of stamina pieces. And a friend of mine's doing all stamina all the time. And the way he plays the game is much more vertical than I do, because he's doing a lot more climbing. And then also, but there's just like little stuff like that's really smart, like to rest until or to wait until a certain time of day. You just have to sit by a fire. But if, say, you can't find a fire, all you have to do is throw down like some wood and a piece of flint, and then
because you can collect many different pieces of items.
Yeah, you collect so many things.
Yeah,
and like you throw down some wood, and if you don't have wood, you can cut down a tree and get wood, and then throw some flint down with it. And if you strike the flint with a metal weapon of any sort, like a sword or whatever, it'll hit it, make a spark,
light on fire,
and then you have a fire, so you can cook on it, you can wait there, and then like say you need to light something else on fire, then all you have to do is pull out your torch and get that flaming, and then you can go burn other stuff like trees or grass or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, and like if you're going through like a cold,
cool.
if you're going through like a cold,
I like
area,
the details like that.
It's really smart. And like if you're in a place that's too cold for your body to handle, you can like make food that has hot peppers in it, which will increase your body temperature, so you can survive the cold. Or you can get warm clothing, or you can carry around a flaming item like a torch, or I have a spear that just innately makes fire.
Yeah.
And if I have the flame spear attached to my back, I don't suffer from coldness anymore.
That's so fucking cool,
like,
actually.
the game just has a lot of really thoughtful stuff in it that's really, really cool. And as we talked about from last week, remember I talked about like how during the Crush segment, we talked about how he starts in his basically board shorts.
Yeah.
And we assumed there had to be somebody playing through the game without dressing him. Someone did.
Of course.
And it turns out NPCs in the game speak to you differently if you're not wearing clothes. Like they call you out on
they knew there would be people doing that.
They call you out for like walking up and being shirtless or whatever, and like like,
no shoots, no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Yeah, but yeah, like the NPCs treat you differently if you are not clothed. So it is like the game's just full of little details like that just really make it a very full experience. Like it just feels it feels very finished. Now
the villain in this is Ganon, right?
It is Calamity Ganon. Yes, it's not as far as I can tell. I don't think it is like Pig Nose Ganon, but I don't know for sure because he seems to be sort of a general sort of like miasma or miasma. I'm not sure I pronounce that actually, but like a general sort of like evil cloud around a castle.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, like there seems to be like a greater evil that Ganon represents. I'm not sure what his form will be.
Gotcha.
That, and I also started playing a little bit of Shovel Knight using the other characters.
Oh yeah, how's that going?
Well, I already played through Plague Knight, and I'm having a really hard time with him right now.
Plague or the new one
with Plague Knight, but Spectre Knight though, I did the first level. It's awesome. It's so good. It plays really differently, and I actually replayed, the first level of Plague Knight as well, just to sort of figure out the story, because I was trying to remember like what the story was.
Yeah.
And so the whole idea is that Plague Knight is trying to, so of course, Shovel Knight, you're trying to save Shield Knight. Plague Knight, you are trying to make the ultimate potion, and to do so, it turns out every single other boss character is unwittingly standing in front, or they're standing in front of you getting an ingredient you need. So you have to take out all the bosses to get an ingredient to make you unstoppable.
Oh, gotcha.
And then Spectre Knight, for Spectre of Torment, is a prequel to the game, and you are cursed, and that's why, so you need to accomplish this so you can get your form back, your body back.
Oh.
And so you are cursed and undead, it seems, and your job is to recruit various knights to join the Enchantress's evil legion. And so, I think you have to probably fight and take down every boss to convince them to join your cause.
Sweet.
So it's kind of cute that they create like a whole different story for everybody.
For all of them. That's so cool.
But yeah, so I played a little bit of that over the weekend just after after my eyes were bleeding from too much Zelda.
Yeah, my eyes were bleeding from Diablo. I played probably 7 hours a day, 3 days in a row. I looked at the time, it was 3 a.m. at one time, and I was like, oh my goodness, who am I, a high schooler? And so I went to bed, got up at 8, played it until 1 p.m., and then went to Long Beach to like their art walk thing they had. I was like, this is not my existence, but it was fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it made me feel young again.
Excellent. Well, I read something recently, and it made me very concerned about you, and I was just worried. I want to make sure you're okay.
What?
There's been that posting or like sort of confirmation saying that there will not be, after this new sort of freestanding expansion on Uncharted 4, there will not be any more Uncharted from Naughty Dog.
What?
Yeah, at least that's what the article said. I mean, they could always change their mind.
Oh my!
But
I didn't know that. I knew that the one of the co-owners broke off away from the company.
Yeah, Christoph is retiring
because he wants to have a family. Well, he has a family, but he wants to have a family life.
Yeah, well, he's been working real hard for a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, another Uncharted game from Naughty Dog is unlikely, the studio says, because they have other stuff to focus on, like The Last of Us and hopefully maybe a new franchise. That does not mean Uncharted's gone, of course, because Uncharted...
I'm so angry right now.
Well, Uncharted the series is owned by Sony. It's not owned by Naughty Dog.
Yeah, so I don't care.
They could always give it to another developer to continue making Uncharted games. Like
Who would you give it to?
Well, the one for the Vita was made by Bend Studios, and that was a really very good handheld Uncharted game. And of course, Bend is currently making Days Gone, I think, which is it's a new PlayStation 4 title that made a big splash at E3 this year. But yeah, I just want to make sure you're okay, because I read
I'm not okay now. I was
worried.
until you told me. I was actually having a great day until now.
I'm sorry, but I felt you should... Better you hear it from me.
A heart attack.
Better you hear it from me than from anyone else.
I'm just going to resent you now.
No, I'm sorry. Not trying to ruin what you love.
Oh, God. It is my favorite, other than Mass Effect, because that's like everything I ever talk about. It's my favorite. But, I kind of want to play Street Fighter 5.
Yeah?
Now that you told me the firmware updates and everything's okay, Cupid, everything's nice and yummy.
And if you're willing to throw a couple bucks at it, you could have Hot Ryu.
I was looking at the prices, though. It's a little expensive
Is it?
still.
I haven't actually...
$70 for the better one, or no, $79. So $80.
That's a little crazy.
Or $59 for the regular. And I was like,
Wow.
No. This is over a year old.
Well, I can loan you the disc on that one if you want.
Will you have it?
I have the disc.
Yes.
Then you can throw a couple of dollars towards Hot Ryu.
Yes. Okay,
because
good.
I need to see him.
Yes. Okay, I'm so in.
Good. Okay, hopefully it makes up for the bad news earlier.
No.
I know it doesn't.
But that's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Fabulous. So what do you think about the new Thor coming out and Cate Blanchett?
I'll see her do anything.
I know, me too.
She's just like...
She is so cool. She can do anything. Like Elizabeth and Elizabeth the Golden Age are two of my favorite films ever. And I mean, it was only magic from then on.
I feel like her and Tilda Swinton must be somehow like related.
And maybe Meryl somehow.
Because like they can both, I feel like especially the two of them though, because they do such weird projects.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm on board for whatever they do. Like it doesn't matter. Oh, Cate Blanchett's playing Bob Dylan. Okay.
Of course.
Yeah, duh.
Makes sense to me.
Like Tilda Swinton is the Angel Gabriel. Yeah. We all knew that.
Hello.
Like seriously, like she just woke up, rolled out of bed, and did that role. I'm assuming that's just what she looks like on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, that was dope. That was great. What was that? What was that movie?
That was Constantine.
Constantine. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, did you ever see the movie? You remember the Ewoks had their own spin-off films?
The Ewok Adventure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you remember Not the Caravan of Courage, which was the first one, but the Battle for Endor.
That's the only one I've seen, actually. I think I've only seen the second one, and I've seen it like a billion times. That's the one that has Wicket in it, right?
They both have Wicket.
Okay, I remember
and they're
Wicket.
both with Sindel, and they both follow each other.
Is that the one? Who's the girl with the blonde curly hair?
Sindel.
Okay, that's her.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've only seen the second one.
Okay.
Still.
Well,
because I could not have told you the name of the first one.
Oh yeah, I love those films. I mean, obsessed. I even have them on DVD, so we can actually watch it.
Because I need to see that first one.
Yeah. So anyhow, there's this character in Battle for Endor, and she's a witch, and her name is Chorrol.
That sounds like a disease.
But she looks, right?
I've come down with a terrible case of chorrol.
Sounds like churros.
Ooh, it's a delicious disease.
It's a delicious disease. Especially from Disneyland. But I have to get a picture up right now because Cate Blanchett's character looks just like her. And I'm actually going to do a side-by-side on Twitter after this launches because it's ridiculous.
Well, it's like, while you look that up, I have to say, I didn't know a whole lot about Thor Ragnarok. I didn't even know Cate Blanchett was in it until this like Entertainment Weekly came out, pretty much. And I am so excited that Tessa Thompson is in it. She's playing, I guess, Valkyrie. And I am just fucking thrilled that Tessa Thompson is getting the like people are attaching to her and casting her and stuff like they are. Because I mean, I love her in Westworld. But of course, I fell in love with her in Dear White People, which I love that movie.
I saw that.
Oh, it's so good. And I cannot wait for the Netflix TV series. I feel so bad that that it's receiving such bullshit on like internet hate about it. But oh man.
There's Chorrol.
Oh yeah. Totally.
And there's Kate.
Yeah.
Isn't that the same person?
Yeah. That's crazy.
I know. I love it.
That's
all.
awesome.
When I was little, I thought I was going to grow up to be this woman. Or as Charl. Well, whatever. It's
Charl.
the damn thing.
But yeah, Thor looks cool though, and the director of Thor, I think, of Ragnarok, is the guy who did What We Do in the Shadows, I believe.
Oh, sweet.
Like, I'm really looking forward to it because I'm not a huge Thor fan. I didn't like the first two movies that much.
I loved the first one. I despised the second one, the
Dark
World.
Yeah.
And I thought it was, I mean, I love the first one so much that the second one just hurt my heart. And Chris Hemsworth is fucking gorgeous. And I would have all his babies.
He's definitely not my type, but I can still recognize beauty when I see it.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He's everybody's type. He's got the butchness, he's got the bareness, he's got the cute boyness, he's got the tall, he's got everything.
I am glad he cut his hair's been cut for this new one. I
liked him both ways.
I like it with the short hair. That's good.
I like a man with long hair because I'm obsessed with like surfers.
Okay.
Yeah, which is bad because they're bad boys, but but I just love surfer boys, and yeah, but I like him now too with his haircut. Yeah, looks good. He looks hot. He looks more militant.
Yeah,
I would say.
Looks ready to kick some ass.
Yeah, kick some ass.
Yeah.
So okay, great. Yeah, so we're looking forward to Cate Blanchett as Hela. And, yeah, the Wonder Woman trailer it launched also.
Did it? I have not seen that.
That's how the song goes. Does that sound right? Yeah, and it looks really good. And actually, Hemsworth and Gal, they both spoke at the Children's Choice Awards, the Nickelodeon one.
Yeah.
And it was so cute. And they gave everybody the gauntlets, the Wonder Woman gauntlets. And they had like a laser show where the kids were deflecting the lasers.
That's cute.
So cute. And I was like, I wish I had those damn gauntlets.
Yes, I did not watch the Kids' Choice Awards because I just don't understand children or their choices.
Yeah, I don't either. But I saw, she posted it, Gal. So that's the only reason I saw it.
And like, it's weird though. I mean, I think John Cena is a weird choice to host the Games Choice Awards, except that he's just so fucking charming. I really like John Cena. Like, I don't know much about him, except like I really enjoyed him in Trainwreck.
Yeah, I don't know much about John Cena either, actually.
But like, it is like Trainwreck was a treasure trove of, I want to say untapped talent because they were in it, but talent that I didn't know would be so damn pleasing. Because like John Cena was great, and oh my god, I can't think of his name. LeBron James was.
He was. Yeah, they were funny.
Yeah, like he was so good.
He was so awkward, John Cena.
He was.
He made me kind of like, ew.
The washcloth on the boner scene was really something special.
Yeah, something special.
But yeah, yeah, I really liked that movie, and I liked, you know, the sort of nice surprises that people offered in that.
Yeah. Well, back to the trailer though.
Yes.
Hippolyta, is that her name? The Queen of the Amazons?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Oh, see, that's who I thought Cate Blanchett. She's not in this though. No. Yeah. Anyhow, sorry. We were talking earlier, and I thought Cate Blanchett was also in Wonder Woman, but it's not her.
Yeah, that'd be a little bit of a conflict of interest, I guess, if she was doing both. A
DC and a Marvel.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking at the moment. So, anyhow, yeah, the Amazons, I love that they're doing the whole backstory. There's this book that I love, and I can't think of the author. I'll look it up, but the book was called The Last of the Amazons, and I read this book, and it's kind of like a history of the Amazons, but you follow it through one character, kind of like in The Mists of Avalon, where you follow Morgan Le Fay the whole time. Mm-hmm. This one you follow like this outcast Amazon, and I love the book so much. And I told my brother, I said, I have this book. I want you to read it. And I give it to him. He said, you mean this book? And he pulls out the hardcover version. I said, you bitch. So I stole that from him, and I still have it.
Did you at least replace it with the paperback?
No, I have both.
All right, then. Take that, Travis. Does he know you took it? He does now, probably. Does he listen?
Yeah, he listens, and he knows now. But it's in good hands. It's my hands. And it's by Stephen Pressfield. He also did a book on the Spartans, the 300.
Oh, okay.
Before the 300.
Before the graphic novel?
Yeah, it's actually, I guess, more closely related to the actual Spartans.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I recommend that read. Last of the Amazons.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, you got a crush for the week?
I do have a crush.
All right, I need to know who this is.
And he's so hot.
Yeah.
And I want to just like gush over him, but he's not human, which is great. Thane.
Oh yeah.
He's a Drell, and which is like a species in Mass Effect 2. And then he's also in Mass Effect 3, and then he's this assassin, super hot. He's super suave. Has his shirt open the whole time, so his rippling chest is out. And I think he's like the fucking hottest character ever. And then in Mass Effect 3, it's more tragic because in 2 you learn that he has this fatal disease. That's like when you first meet him, he tells you, I had to do this. This part of my life is going to be over. I'm giving up the Assassin's Creed, and I'm living a more saintly life because I have this disease and I'm dying. So in 3, you deal with him in the hospital and kind of like move him along his way and try to be his friend and do things for him. And it breaks my fucking heart.
That was, I remember that. That was not easy.
Not easy.
And he had a really cool voice. It had a really great, like, sort of treated raspy effect.
You are so good at remembering things like that. I didn't even remember that until I listened to like some of his dialogue earlier today. I was like, oh yeah, this is fine-tuned.
He has a good voice.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Mass Effect, this is a little bit of a sidetrack from the crushes. My ooh la la, as you show me some deviant art from him, or of him rather. So this is like a nerdy item that is fun, and if you are into it, you should go get it. There is a Cards Against Humanity expansion for Mass Effect.
I did read about that or see that.
It is at the website totallyfuckablealiens.com.
Oh my god.
And it's $1.
What?
It's $1 with free shipping, I believe. It's only maybe 15 cards. I think it's 5 black cards and 10 white cards. But yeah, it's like mine just arrived a couple days ago.
You got it.
I did.
Could you have brought it so we could have read the cards?
Well, I wrote down 2 of them that are really great.
Yeah.
One of them is, these are both white cards. One of them was bone-crushing sex with a metal woman. Of course, referring to Joker's love for Edie.
Edie. Uh-huh.
And then the other one, this is just my favorite because it totally it's how I played the game, which is just running a few errands before saving the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you gotta finish mining that planet.
You gotta grocery shop a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta raise your galactic readiness. Like, the galaxy can wait.
They can all wait because
I've got
there are
shit
things
to
do.
I have loyalty missions to handle here.
Okay.
I gotta go cure the genophage.
That's right.
There was also one about like armor-covered Krogan war clitoris. Like, it's magic.
So good.
So it's $1 well spent if you enjoy Cards Against Humanity.
I mean, I might just spend $1 even though I don't have Cards Against Humanity just to have those cards.
Like, you should get it before it goes away.
Yeah.
And the packaging is also great. The cover is a bunch of characters sitting around a table playing Cards Against Humanity while Garrus is making out with FemShep. And then on the inside, it's almost like a greeting card, the way it opens. And on one side of the opening is Commander Shepard, male, making a kissy face. And on the other side is Kaiden making a kissy face. So when you close the card, they kiss each other.
Oh my goodness. Wait, what's it called again?
TotallyFuckableAliens.com.
TotallyFuckableAliens.com. Yes, I'm going to order mine for sure.
Yeah, I want to say it's $1 with free shipping. I could be wrong. Did it work?
Oh my God, and they're so cute, the drawings.
Right?
It's like animation style.
Yeah, it's really cute. Like, I love the fact that the people at BioWare, like...
Garrus is hot too.
They actually, like, I want to say that cover of them all playing...
Oh no, Thane's in the back throwing up.
What? He's partying too hard.
He's dying.
He's also probably partying too hard. Just be cool. It's cool.
I'm so sad now.
But yeah, I from what I read of like an article, BioWare actually were the people that that mandated that's what the cover be. They're like, we want them all like at partying, hanging out, playing Cards Against Humanity, except Garrus needs to be making out with FemShep with his hand on her boob.
Oh yeah.
And so like I love that was their big stipulation on the packaging. And
I love that Tolly
drinking through a straw.
A sippy straw.
Yeah, like a crazy straw.
Yeah, a crazy straw.
Yeah, well, I mean, I imagine it's how she would have to drink.
Oh, right.
Unless she wants to get really sick.
Like a hamster thing.
So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, definitely. If you're into Cards Against Humanity or Mass Effect, that is
obsessed.
A thing that you probably want.
I'll put the link on Twits.
On the Twits.
Actually, I always mix them up. The Twits is Twitch or the Twits is Twitter?
Twitter.
Oh, the Twits is Twitter?
That's what I always say. I was on the Twits. You know, it's just short for Twitter.
Okay, well...
You're getting twitty with it. I don't know, something.
Yeah, I like that.
And so my crush, and I was feeling really proud of myself that I was kind of just going a little crazy with like a fairly new game, with a new character, and non-human. I figured I would be like kind of...
Wait, you have a non-human too?
Yeah, I figured I'd be
all...
all...
How the fuck did that happen?
I figured I'd be all sorts of like counterculture-y and shit. And then unfortunately, like a day or two ago, fucking Kotaku wrote up an article about
this character. Okay, who is it?
So there's a race in Legend of Zelda Breath
Please
of the Wild.
Please tell me it's a chocobo.
There's a race. No. There's a race in Breath of the Wild called Zora, and they are like really tall, muscular humanoids, but their heads look like hammerhead sharks.
Okay.
And there is the male character is a prince, Zora Prince. His name is either Sidon or Sidon. It's Sidon. Probably Sidon, like Poseidon.
Like Poseidon.
And he has like really sharp little jagged teeth, and so he looks kind of scary at times, but he's also really charming.
Mhm.
He's very supportive. He's very like gung ho you, and he does this thing whenever he's done talking. If he's really excited about things,
He licks his lips.
no, like he looks at the camera and poses like with a bicep kind of thing. I always have to say like yes, and then he sort of like holds it there, smiling at you until you progress past it.
Oh,
like,
he is cute.
and like
he kind of looks like a shredder.
like he's really, really cool. He's really nice. And like there's already all sorts of like, I guess, fan fiction and fan art and all sorts of people that
fantasy art.
Oh yeah, people are way into him. And it was kind of nice actually to see that the internet rallied around him, because as I was playing, I was like, this monstrous fish head man is kind of charming.
It says Link experiences platonic love of giant horses and dogs throughout his adventure, as well as the affections of two fish-like creatures, whom everyone really wants to date in real life.
Because that prince's sister has very strong feelings for Link. And
wow.
And meanwhile, my Link was establishing some feelings for the prince. But yeah, he's like, it's kind of ridiculous. I saw him, I was like, huh, he's pretty
funny.
cool. And then sure enough, yeah, everyone's way into that character. So
Yeah, see, I was smart picking an old one. Nobody remembers Thane.
well, seriously, I was like feeling like I was way ahead of the
I
curve.
thought so too. I wouldn't have guessed that either.
Well, if I had already experienced like, or encountered that character by last week, I probably would have talked about it. But you know, that's
how do you spell his name?
Sidon.
Sidon.
'Tis the curse of recording once a week. You know?
Yeah.
Can't just get in there.
I know. But, you know, I think that just means we're on par with
Right?
what's happening in the world.
Like we are, we're keeping up.
Ooh, yes. These are some good fan art. Okay, I'll post some shit.
I even did some screen grabs on the Switch of him doing his fun, like, posy thing where he poses and smiles.
Remember that cartoon? I think they were called Tigersharks.
Street Sharks.
Well, there was Street Sharks,
Right.
which is like the muscly ones.
Yeah, they were weird.
Then there was another one called like Tigersharks. It was kind of like Thundercats, but they were underwater, like fish and
I did not know.
sharks and things.
No. Do you remember? There was also those shark fruit snacks that were like eerie, like completely.
Oh, what were those called? Just sharks, right?
I don't remember, but they were like they were actually opaque white, which was really strange because fruit snacks are usually semi-transparent. You can typically see through them a little bit. They're kind of cloudy, but they look like a gummy, not completely opaque like a tooth. I remember getting them because they were just. I was actually thinking recently how many weird fad items I had in my lunch as a kid.
Tigersharks.
Oh, seriously, he actually that is similar.
Okay.
Now you have to look up those fruit snacks though, because I need to know what they were called. But like, that's the curse of you having your computer there all the time.
Right.
I was just thinking recently about like all the weird shit that ended up in my lunch as a kid, because like there were
Shark bites.
Oh, that's such
But they had the great white tiger shark.
But that's such a good name for a fruit snack. Shark bites.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The ferocious tiger shark.
God,
then there was the great white shark as well.
I hope whoever named that got a raise. That's really good.
Shark bite.
But yeah, I remember like Squeeze-Its, and then Mondo, I think, was another sort of squeezy drink that just tasted like poison. I'm assuming that's what poison tastes like, 'cause it was fucking terrible.
I've never had Mondo.
It was not good.
Oh, I remember the Garfield gummies. Remember those?
Oh, yes.
The fruit snacks. Fruit snacks were dope back in the day. And then they did Gushers, and it got a little crazy for me. But I like Gushers too, I ain't gonna lie.
Well, and then like Dunkaroos, which seriously, like there's no nutritional like facets of Dunkaroos. It's literally cookies and frosting. I don't understand how that happened.
I think that's the dessert, right?
I guess. It's weird. I never really think I need dessert with like a bag lunch. But I guess I did as a kid, or I deserved that.
Well, there's the Dunkaroos. I'm going through Google search for Tigersharks, and I'm getting like Dunkaroos, Garfield Gushers, Trolleys, everything. Which I will eat all of this because I'm a pig and I love snacks.
But it's weird how many of those probably don't exist anymore. But yeah, I couldn't help but think like, man, there were a lot of like
Fruit by the Foot.
Oh yeah, Fruit by the Foot.
That was dope.
Yeah, like Fruit by the Foot. Of course, I always I liken to bubble tape. The other like 6 feet of bubble gum for you, not them.
Fruit string thing. Remember that?
I never did fruit string thing.
Yeah, it was like that thing you unraveled.
Oh shit!
And it just unraveled,
yes.
unraveled.
Well, you remember like on like Jolly Rancher? No, fruit roll-ups. Like how they all had different shapes that you could peel out.
Link had fruit snacks.
I did not know that. I
think
think I had
I
Legend
had
of Zelda
those.
cereal at one point. There's a food item there called Mr. Salty.
Oh yeah,
Which-
peanut butter and pretzels. Ooh, that sounds good.
It does, but Mr. Salty sounds a little inappropriate to give your children. I feel like Mr. Salty has to introduce himself whenever he moves into a new house.
I think I like that.
To all the neighbors.
Oh yeah, that's bad. You don't want that.
No.
You don't want to live next to Mr. Salty, but you will eat his product.
Whoa!
Did that come out wrong?
Maybe. If you want to swallow Mr. Salty,
I just have a thing for pretzels and peanut butter. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
You're not. No, that's a totally valid. That's a valid thing to enjoy.
Yeah, I think so.
Mr. Salty. I hope whoever named that got fired.
Fired. It lasted all of 1 week. Oh my god. Anywho.
Well, that's all I got for this week. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
That's all I got. There was this one story I wanted to tell, and I was laughing my head off, and I completely forgot what it was, and I still can't remember. So maybe next week I'll have a funny story to tell.
You need to write it down as soon as it comes to you, like Memento style.
Because remember, I was telling you, my short-term memory is really bad.
A friend of mine in high school had a theory that answering machine beeps are memory erasers.
Oh.
Did you ever think about, do you ever have that thing where, you'd call a friend, from a home phone, so you didn't have your cell phone telling you who you called, and, you'd listen to the thing of, we're not here, leave a message after the beep.
It beeps
beep,
and you go blank.
and you straight up go,
Why'd I call?
or who? All the time I'd be like, this is Rob.
Call me back.
Call me. And, of course, I was like, this is the family answering machine I'm leaving a message on, so I'm hoping that whoever listens to it, whether it be a sibling of the friend I called or a parent, knows that whichever child they have needs to call me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who I called anymore. I can barely remember my own name at this point.
Yeah. I know. Isn't it weird? That's why we do Dictionary Word of the Week, which I didn't even use. But we're going to use it right now because we...
So is it a noun or a verb? Does it say?
Stravage. It's
Stravage. Sorry.
Fuck, I can't even get it together. Stravage is probably a verb. No, it's probably a noun.
Or I should make my adjective. Now we've gone through all of the options.
Is it a word? Did we make it up?
It's some sort of word.
Did we just make it up?
It is a verb.
That makes sense.
So yeah, because
you can stravage.
I have been stravaging through Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, stravaging. That sounds stupid, though. Like you just made that up.
But it makes us sound smart.
Yeah.
And I like sounding smart.
I like it, too.
I do my best to give that illusion on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, me too. Doesn't work out so well for me, though.
Well,
I did want to bring up this graphic novel I was reading really fast. How much time do we have, though?
We've got time.
Okay. The Wicked and the Divine, which... I hear is going to be a series on television eventually.
Ooh.
Don't quote me. It was through the grapevine, so I'm not sure. But The Wicked and the Divine, it's by, I'm going to screw all these names up. Gillian McKelvey and Wilson Cowles. And basically, it's about this girl who's a fangirl. And she's obsessed with all these rock stars. And the rock stars are actually ancient gods that come back to Earth for a certain amount of time and then they die off and come back later. And it's kind of like this cycle that the gods have to live through every so many years. And this girl, she's obsessed, and there's all these bad things happening. Somebody's trying to kill Lucifer. Lucifer is a girl in this, which I love. And she's kind of bi, so she's a switch hitter, which I love, which was the name of our last podcast. And so she, this normal fangirl has this relationship with these gods and starts to like be intertwined into their lives, and kind of reminds me a little bit of Interview with the Vampire, a little bit. It's like the new girl in town, brings in nothing really special until she becomes somebody of importance, which you find out later on.
Cool.
Anyhow, really cool. It's a very good like social commentary. It's there's a lot of, there's even cons for these gods, so you can go to like GodCon or whatever they call it, and like go fangirl with them, and yeah. So I really recommend it. There's 4 or 5 trades out so far, and it's really good, and the art is tremendous. It's very poppy.
Yeah, I was like, just as you like are sort of fanning through it, it's very clean.
It's very clean. It's very colorful, and each section begins with like a headshot of the character it's about, and it's really pretty. Yeah, these are really good cosplay characters too. If I wanted to cosplay, I could definitely. Yeah,
it was like that last one you showed. I can imagine you doing some cool makeup.
I actually thought about doing her last year for Comic-Con, but then I realized, oh wait, nobody wants to cosplay with me, so I'm not going solo. I need like a trove of gods with me. Lucifer.
That's awesome.
She's fucking hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Page 1, baby.
Well, I'm very excited about digging into that.
Yeah, The Wicked and the Divine. Rob's going to read it. He can tell us all about it next week.
Oh my God, it's like a book report.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Awesome.
And then I'm going to talk about another one, graphic novel next week called Firebrand that a friend did. And it's really good.
Cool.
Yeah, that's available on Webtoons if anybody wants to catch up and kind of like tune in, and we can maybe talk a little bit about it next week. So Firebrand, and it's by... one of the authors is Jessica Chobot, and the other one, I can't remember her name, but Firebrand.
You gotta have to look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
thanks.
It.
Yeah, thanks for joining us this time.
Thanks for joining us.
So if you want to find Cetine on the social medias, you should find her at
Cetine the Dream, CETINETHEDREAM on Instagram and Twitter, and just my first name, Cetine, on Twitch.
And I am Fast Danger on Twitter, and Mr. Gladstone, where Mr. is spelled out, on Instagram and Twitch.
And you can find us, the podcast, at BitDiff Podcast, BITDIFFPODCAST, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
Or you can email us at bitdiffpodcast@gmail.com.
We have new episodes every Wednesday.
And because I got all demandy last week, I'm going to say it nicely. Please follow, rate, and comment in iTunes and Google Play.
Please.
Would you kindly?
Would you kindly please? And that's how people find us, and that's how they can search us. And we get on, we're findable if you rate and comment too. So that really helps us out also.
Yeah.
Oh, and we're going to start doing guests pretty soon.
We are, yes.
We said we were going to start maybe around episode 10. This is 8.
Okay, yeah, we're getting there.
So
I think
we're
we want to get
there.
10 down first, and then we would start bringing in a third.
Yeah, and then we also want to do some live podcasting on maybe Twitch.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, and we can play some games and chat with people, and
I feel there's going to be a lot of uhs and ums just as we are playing a game.
Well, I do that in the podcast, so we're good.
Well, I feel like I will be nothing but ums and uhs at this point.
We'll switch hit. You'll talk,
okay.
play, I'll talk and
there
play.
We go.
Yeah, we can do it that way.
Cool. Well, yeah, thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, chowsies.
Bye.